What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Chromecast. My name is Joe. I'm joined here today by Robbie.
Oh, that was like pointing over
I
to
saw
Andy.
you. You're ready. That's Robbie.
Hey.
Gabriel.
Good day.
And Andy Cam.
Oh, I know why you got
demoted. Oh, I know why, too. Yep.
And he's last.
I forgot.
He's last.
But at least he remembered you.
Not forgotten.
You were not forgotten, my friend.
But there's a reason he remembered you.
Yeah. If you notice, Paul, the plantipus. I'll just let you explain.
Not
it.
himself today.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Paul's a little down.
Yeah,
he wanted to go play golf and couldn't the other day.
Right.
So that's mainly why.
Yeah, he's pretty upset.
And was doing some other stuff. Got thirsty.
Right.
Yeah, he's also outgrown this. It's really just we need to do more for him.
Yeah.
He'll bounce back though.
Paul's gonna bounce back.
What do we need? I have like 5 bags of soil and potting soil and mulch in my car.
Let's put him in a huge thing.
Yeah, we need at least
takes
3
up.
of those.
Let's just put it on the. Just take up the whole table here.
Get a giant terracotta pot and just
put it right here in the golfing simulator.
It'd be cool if he was like a goldfish and just grew.
We could do like a.
The store next door told me to put it down in here. We'll do that first.
Ooh, there you go. Hanging pot.
Yeah.
Honestly,
we need to put him down in here first.
This.
Is what she told me to do, and then he's Paul's gonna be fine, but I think it's just like it's a team morale thing. I think we like barely hinted at this last week, but when we did the podcast last week, we thought we weren't gonna make our trip for a different reason. This podcast was supposed to be recorded and filmed in Florida with our team.
Yep, whole team.
And first thing. There's several reasons, but first thing kind of came up, and it was just some scheduling conflicts that we had with the team. That didn't work out, and then Gabe had to go get sick on us. And then it worked out. We were like, yeah, we're going. It's up.
And then I tried to die.
And then Gabe had to go and get the flu.
Yeah, it came on just horrible, like worse than. I'm pretty sure I've had COVID twice, and this was comparable to the first time we had COVID. The second time we had COVID was a couple days of bleh. This was rough.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Like your second time with it and my time with it, that was Omicron.
Yeah. It
was relatively mild.
No worse than cold. But this has been rough. I'm 5 days in now, and I'm sure if you're listening to this, you can hear I sound like I have my thumb stuck in my nose. But
little Nate, you're like you both have low. Voices anyway, but it's extra low now.
No, I don't.
He's really going to sound like
I sound like I have a reed in my throat.
Like if I'm a little sick, it goes straight Barry White.
Yeah.
Oh, which by the way, I saw the coolest reel this morning.
Joe can't do that.
The trending thing. My money don't jiggle. Yeah. Saw the actual video of that interview.
Yeah. It was
just like everyone else. I thought that was auto-tuned. That's not. That is his voice.
Well, the remix, like the one that's on TikTok, is but his voice is pretty monotone.
Digitally, it's very interesting.
I haven't heard it enough, I guess.
But so we were supposed to take this trip. We hired Michael Perigo, our staff writer, hired him in late September of 2020 during the pandemic. So we obviously haven't had any trips since then. We haven't been able to see him. Never met him.
Never been face to face.
Yeah, and then
crazy.
And then just recently we hired Johanna, and haven't been able to meet her either. JoJo.
Yep.
So we were just really excited to get the team together.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it will happen.
We're going to reschedule.
It's also funny
is that
I saw, it's not funny. It's actually not funny at all. Ironic, kids, whatever you want to call it. Sunday night, I saw, or maybe it was Monday, I can't remember. CDC has raised monkeypox to like level 2.
Oh, really?
So it's not mandatory, but they're saying if you travel, you should wear masks.
Did you see though that they have? I can't remember how many. It's a redonkulous amount of vaccines already stored up.
Insane.
So it's not. It won't be the same thing if it gets to the point where they start.
And the number of cases in the U.S. is still like 47. It's very
super duper rare, but we're on. That's just the new norm now.
Yeah.
Something like that happens, everyone's going to be like, oh God, are we going to do this again? Because nobody wants to do COVID again.
I mean, the last time I got COVID, I actually broke my arm. Weird.
And got diabetes.
all at once.
And then walked out in front of a car.
Man. But I was so stoked. We were gonna make some really fun content. We were gonna do some cool behind the scenes stuff for Patreon.
Andy Cam
rented a lens. He's actually using it now. Check it out.
Look at it.
Looks great. Goes all the way to 15, right? Is that what you said?
Super wide.
Explain what that means for people.
What that means.
So 15 millimeter, like
It goes with the 15 and the ISO,
Yeah.
the DSP. You know what I'm saying? And
You get it.
Yeah, you get it.
Frame rate.
What
is the,
f-stop does it do?
F-stop.
2.8.
Yeah,
How many
2.8.
stops does it have?
Are there mirrors in that camera?
Handful of
Yeah.
stops.
Mirror less.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you can photograph vampires with it. Okay.
Yes.
I had to
Boom.
explain that to my daughter this weekend. She's like, why isn't she showing up in any of the pictures? We were watching one of the Hotel Transylvanias. I was
Okay.
like, well,
Facts,
most
kids.
average camera has mirrors in it. Mirrors, vampires, you get the whole deal. They can't take a picture.
Yeah, there you go.
Blew her mind.
Facts, kids.
But we got a cool lens, and we were going to make some fun just behind-the-scenes content. We were
Yep.
going to film the podcast down there. We were actually going to film a main channel video down there as well, and just, this one didn't work out.
For a variety of reasons,
yeah,
and it made me start thinking like,
yeah,
maybe this just wasn't the right.
Universe just told us no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to reschedule. It'll be fun to get the team together, and just looking forward to getting that figured out so that we can do a podcast with everyone. That's going to be really fun. But yeah, that was partially why Paul was going to get watered on Sunday, but then we ended up not leaving Monday morning. So then everything was crazy.
He's
and
also just sad for us. You know?
yeah, and it's just kind of the vibe, you know.
He
It's just
probably
kind
had
of
to
the vibe.
cancel that party he had planned.
That's
He was like, I thought these jerks were going to be gone for a whole week. I had the
Paul
place to
had a-
myself.
Do not show up.
He's like teenage Groot. in Avengers. I am Groot.
You see, he's getting his own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
That's
cool
awesome.
is that?
That's
Miss Marvel starts today too.
Yeah.
First episode.
There you go.
Is it Miss Marvel? Miss Marvel?
I think that's the new one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the teenage kid.
So yeah, Paul's sad, but it's
Hey,
okay.
Paul, there's a new episode of Obi-Wan today, so
That's okay.
cheer
Cheer
up,
up, buddy.
Buck up, buddy. I
Cheer
bet
up.
he'll be greener by the time we
He'll
get
be-
to the end of the show. It
he
might be a
might.
good thing, it might be a bad thing.
He might. We'll do a time
I mean, he
lapse.
got water, so
He did get water.
that's beneficial for plants,
that's
from what
right.
I hear.
Yeah,
what
he did
what
get water.
is this, Andrew? What is Paul?
I think peace lily. I'm not positive.
That is
on
not a
that.
peace lily.
Okay, then
Let's
it's not.
see what Google's got.
No,
Google actually has a thing in Lens now that'll
Yep,
say
that's where I'm
like
going.
what plant is this or whatever.
That's where I'm going.
I'm asking because my dad has some of
They
these
told
that
me.
are over 70 years old.
Don't tell me.
Oh wow.
He has taken cuttings from them and given them
Yeah.
to people, but yeah, he has.
That's amazing.
Mr. Green Thumb. Yeah.
This says, oh, what happened?
Oh, he
Come on,
swiped up.
Lens.
Dang it! I swiped
Swiped
up. That's
up.
my fault.
Jeez. Do you even Google, dude?
I don't use Lens that
Do
often,
you
to
need
be
to
honest
use
with
my
you.
iPhone?
Wow.
Because it will definitely give me a wrong answer.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that here in a minute. There was.
What,
there was
I swiped up and did.
You don't have
I
the-
clicked
there
on
was an
something.
app.
You
there
don't
was
have
an
the
app with
lens
that.
button in your camera?
Yeah,
Oh,
I do.
okay.
Accidentally, when I swiped up, I clicked on
Oh, I got you.
homework.
Jeez.
There we
He's
go.
over here trying to do homework.
Devil's Ivy.
Devil's
There
Ivy.
you go.
That
That's
was
right.
the other guess I was
Yes.
going to say.
Yeah.
So what
Sure.
it is?
Peace
Yes,
lily.
it
Oh, you said she told you.
No, she told me I don't remember, but
Yeah,
she told me.
that-
I thought you like knew.
No,
We're-
that's why you were like, "Don't tell me." I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to."
Epipeninum,
Yeah, there you go.
aridinum.
That's
Don't hurt
how I know
yourself.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy
I
Cam.
just forgot the layman's term.
I,
for it.
Andy
here you
Cam
go.
is a,
read those
I'm
words.
good.
Yeah, Andy Cam.
Devil's
is actually,
Ivy. I see it right there.
The only difference here is
It's
that
more of a
I
strike.
see a
color.
varicose
Mm,
in these leaves.
Yeah.
that
Wow.
is not present in those. I used to work at a greenhouse.
there you
I know.
go.
I know a
What
few
color
things.
were the plants?
No.
Womp. Womp. Not varicose. Yeah, no.
Yeah, sure.
That's veins. That's
I don't
not
know
right.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a
What is it called?
Varicose veins. I don't know.
What is the word? You have certain ivy, and then you have the ivy that has the
don't know.
the little white pieces in it, in the leaf.
I do know what you're talking
Welcome
about.
to the
word?
Greencast. We're gonna do an entire podcast
You
about
talking
plants.
about the candy cane Christmas plants?
Yeah, yeah, that's perfect.
I'm just gonna ask Frank. He knows.
All right,
everything.
let's
There you
let
go.
Andy
All
Cam
right.
look it up.
He'll look it up and figure it out.
Andy Cam.
I
Andy
can't believe I
Cam.
said varicose.
Andy Cam, look that up.
Hopefully it's at least a V word.
It's
It's going to be something that starts with
Viscous.
like an H.
yeah.
That's it.
So let's dig into some news from the week. There was an Apple event, and
more green,
they-
more green stuff. There you go.
they announced some new processors, and what else did they announce?
Some updates to like iOS.
Yeah, it
and
was mainly just update
people were
stuff.
excited that they can like customize their lock screen.
Yeah,
It's weird to see Apple fans get excited about certain things. There's certain things I'm just like, you couldn't do that? I'm more surprised about the fact that you couldn't do that till now.
Customize their locks? What?
Yeah, so you can do some stuff on your locks.
Oh, was that what JoJo was referring to? Whenever
yeah.
It's a super innovative thing. I don't know if
you innovative. I mean, super innovative.
They really they keep just breaking out of the box.
Keep using that word. Don't think it means what you think it means. Just saying.
it's they like that word.
I'm trying to remember what else there was.
I don't even remember. I was halfway paying attention.
There's some cool stuff with iPad OS that did catch my attention.
Yeah.
There's one cool trick with the camera. I think I wrote an article about that one.
Did they
there
rename
was Stage
iPad
Manager.
OS?
They spent a lot of time.
That's the coolest thing they could do with it would be to rename it.
But yeah, what is the
Stage Manager.
Stage manager. So it's a different overview mode basically. It's another thing I really hope Google's like, ooh, that's cool. Let's do that for Chromebooks, since they keep Chromebooks keep getting these new features with overview mode and your virtual desks and stuff.
Yeah,
it would be in that vein. But the idea of Stage Manager is when you I don't even know how you get to it. Maybe it's a 3-finger swipe up. Maybe I'm not sure. But once you enter that mode, basically your groups of windows that I guess that you would have like in multiple desktops, you see them kind of clumped over here. And so you can drag things in and out of them, but then just click on that clump. So like sometimes it's not always clear what's in what desk. Like I set my desk up the same way every time, so I kind of know I need to go to desk 3 or desk 4. This would kind of keep them over in a small area on the left side, and then it'll allow you to click in that and it'll just bring those windows into view. When they showed it, I was like, yeah, that actually looks like it could be pretty productive on a big enough screen.
Yeah, for sure.
I think on a smaller screen, I'm not sure.
Get a little crowded.
They announced it. They're going to do that for iPad OS, and so that's going to be basically the way that they'll get multi-window iPad OS support. So instead of just split screen with that one thing that floats over the edge, now you've got this. What is it again? I keep wanting to say
Stage Manager. Stage.
They're not that far behind.
I like Stagecoach better.
So I'm going to start calling it. That's just what I'm going to call
Stage
it.
hand.
No, Gabe has to do the whip every time you say it.
Yes.
Like the Friends episode. He's like, whapa. What does that sound?
Is that?
Like the whip. Whapa. You mean like, whoosh. Isn't that what I was doing? No. Anyway, so it's the same idea for iPad as well. They showed like resizable windows, but it all has to run through this Stage Manager thing. So it's not just straight up hook a keyboard in and you get window support. It's kind of goes through the Stage Manager thing, but it's another big step for them to move to. Like when they brought up Stage Manager on the iPad, I was like, this looks like a lot more like Mac OS than it ever has. Like it really has a Mac OS feel. And then they also showed that they finally, you got an M1 chip in these iPads. I mean, come on. They finally have proper external monitor support. But knowing Apple, it'll be like, only supports 1080p.
Or
something
only
dumb.
The $6,000 monitor.
Only the Apple monitor.
It only works with that.
Is.
What is the name of that monitor? I mean, I've seen videos of.
You don't know. I see you. Your hands are on the keyboard. You don't know.
It's too expensive.
It's dumb.
I've never even considered buying it.
It's dumb.
Like,
come on.
Is it Pro Display? I think it might just be called Pro
Studio Display.
Studio Display.
Oh, that's the cheap one. But then they have that's the cheap one. That's the same price as the MacBook Pro.
Right, 3,000 or something.
Yeah.
Which
and it has a processor in it too. Like it's got an actual mobile processor.
Pro Display is the big one.
Pro Display.
Yeah.
Like I've geeked out a few times and looked at some of these like color grading monitors that like movie studios buy, and they're very, very, very expensive, like more expensive than these. So that was the argument. Like whenever I saw, I think it was Jonathan Morrison or somebody, whenever this first came out, was like talking about why it costs this much and the tech that's in there and why it's why they're so expensive. This isn't for the average person to go buy. But yeah, that would be something they'd be like, yeah, this thing works, but only on our monitors. Only on our monitors.
And if not, it's only 720p. Sorry.
But you have to have this $100 cable to connect it.
Yeah.
Not to brag, but they have a 60 hertz refresh rate.
Woo. Whoa.
There's
super smooth.
I don't think there are any other numbers above that, right?
No.
I didn't think so. 60? Yeah.
Oh, 60.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel better about yourself if I tell you yes?
I mean, a little bit.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, and 60 is the size it goes, for sure.
Neat.
Then when they come up with the 90 or whatever.
How old's my monitor on my desk? I bought that, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
75 hertz?
Yeah. My big ultra wide is 60 hertz.
It is. It's still really nice.
They make a 90 hertz version, and I want it, but it literally is the exact same monitor with 90 hertz refresh.
And then I thought it has USB-C too.
Yeah, it does have one USB-C port, but I'm like,
whoop-de-doo.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be. It's not enough for me to really go spend another $600.
What else did they announce, Andy Cam? What was there anything else from?
I didn't pay attention at all to the iPhone stuff.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing is iOS 16.
Yeah, and then
iPadOS 16,
and then
watchOS 9.
And the new Macs with the new processor.
I didn't pay attention to the watch stuff either.
So new Air and then a new MacBook Pro with the M2.
M2. And the Air does too. And the best part, like we noticed this when they pulled it back and showed the portfolio, the new MacBook Air is the only MacBook without the little goofy notch up top now. Yeah.
No, it's the new Pro.
The MacBook Pro, I'm sorry.
So
silly.
Like, wait, now what? Like, I could see maybe if the Air didn't.
Sure.
If they were but they put the Retina display in the Air this time, right?
Yeah. And the new Pro still has the touch bar.
Oh, that's right.
So
I'm telling you, it's like a recycled chassis.
They literally used an old chassis and put this M2
but
in it.
It's their latest MacBook Pro. Like, it's super weird.
And you're putting Pro on it. It's like, this is a device for somebody who is a creator or something to go buy. And
it's Bizarro Town.
Does it have an SD?
It's got the ports. It's got the latest Pro ports, right? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
That one.
I thought it did. I thought I saw somebody tweet because they were like, "Yeah, it's got this."
Yeah.
And the tweet that I saw after that was like, "Yeah, but by the way, this Pro device only displays one external monitor still. One external monitor."
Yeah,
that I'm going to write a piece before you all hear this. Before you hear this, I'm going to write a piece that is totally trashing on Apple for this because that.
I forgot we're recording on Wednesday.
Yeah, that $550 Acer Chromebook Spin 513 that I'm trusting right now that weighs about the same as the MacBook Pro, 2.7 pounds or something like that. Is a nice aluminum chassis. Has probably arguably a similarly good display. It's a Quad HD IPS 400 nit. Full 100% RGB gamut.
I didn't think it had the ports.
It doesn't have
nor does it have MagSafe.
Wow.
Yikes.
Oof. What?
So does it have
It's really just using. So it's got two USB-C and a headphone jack.
Yeah. What? Yeah. So it is the old. It's like 100%. The old 16-inch the old
M1 Pro, the M1 MacBook Pro, right? That's what the M1.
The M1 MacBook Pro, not the M1 Pro or M1 Max.
Yeah.
Super convenient naming.
Super simple. The original MacBook Pro that came with the M1 chip, the first one. It's it's basically that with a new chip in it.
Yeah.
But my trash on Apple will be, I just tested before we walked in here, that ARM-powered $500-ish Chromebook will push. It pushed its own Quad HD display. It pushed my ultra-wide Quad HD display. Granted, it stretched it because it wasn't doing the extra pixels, and Joe's Quad HD display all at once. In a $549 device.
Yeah, so it's not that this chip can't do it. It's just Apple has decided to not allow it to
There's
do it.
no reason that would be a limitation of that device.
A Pro device.
And we know it we had the Mac Mini that with the same chip in it. And I don't know that we ever ran multiple displays off of or needed to, but you can't tell me a device with that much power can't push two displays. Just or three, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because it says it can do 2, so the internal display plus 1.
Internal plus, yeah.
But I'm like, that's a limitation of like $250 Chromebooks. I get that their chip can't do it. That's what they do. So some of these tablets we've got, they'll do a couple 1080p screens, but they won't do like if you get into Quad HD and 4K. Like, but that technically speaking, from MediaTek, the Spin 513 with the Companion 1380 will do its internal Quad HD plus screen. And then, is it two 4K?
Two 4K
60s. Yep. Or two 4K 60, or shoot, what was it?
Full HD at 120, I believe is what it was.
Yeah, and there was something in there with a Quad HD. Or, maybe
it was Quad HD, yeah.
I don't remember. But at least 2 additional 4K displays. So don't tell me that chip doesn't have the power to do it. And I'm not banging on the MediaTek Companion chip, but the M1 is more powerful than that chip. Guarantee it. Across the board.
Yeah.
Better cores, better GPU. So, what the world? Like, and it's a Pro device. You're going to put your Pro moniker on something that has no ports, extends to one device, one external display.
What's its starting price?
$1,200.
I was gonna say at least 11, if not 12.
It's for education, so $1,300.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, cheaper than the generation of, Pro devices that we purchased, but generation of Pro devices that we purchased have SD card slot, HDMI,
The high end
M1 best they have right now, even though 2 should be better than even any of the M1.
Yeah, that's not even to talk about how confusing this part is going to be for consumers, just because of the way they've chosen to name these chips. Like, you can talk about, like, Intel has the dumbest naming of all. Like, they don't make any sense. But you're never going to get a Core i5-3 that's slower than a Core i5-2. Like, it's just a Core i5 and it's a certain generation, and that's it, and you move on. Super weird. It would be like Google coming out with a couple versions of a Tensor chip, and then Tensor 2 comes out in the Pixel 7, but it's not actually faster than the Tensor that was in this new Chromebook or whatever. Whatever. Like, it gets super weird because they chose to go with M1. Now they're doing M2.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard for consumers to be like, oh, wait, so the M2, that's the newest one, right? It's got the highest number. That's what they've done with iPhones. They stuck with iPhones this way. It's what they've done with their A14, A13, A12, A11 chips. The bigger the number, the better the processor. It's very simple, and I've always applauded them for this. And now because they wanted to go make the Pro and the what are they again?
Pro Max
and Ultra M1 chips. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really convoluted, and it's going to get worse because later this year, I'm sure they will do M2 Pro, M2 Max, and M2 Ultra and something else. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it a little bit. I mean, I think right after the show, like, when people start making processors, this just happens. Apparently, you just get excited. You just start throwing all kinds of processors out and just seeing what sticks, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess so. Like, if we're thinking of Intel, there might be like an 11th gen Intel, i7 or whatever that's obviously faster than a 12th gen entry level. Is that a way of
you said maybe an 11th gen i7 would be faster than a Core i3 or Pentium 12th gen. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, we always just rag on Intel for their naming and the way that they put out processors and how convoluted and ridiculous it is. It's just something Apple's never been accustomed to doing.
The
bigger numbers better, and it's simple because that's where Apple aims. They aim to make things take cool tech and make it very easy for people to understand, so that you walk in, you buy the thing you need, you walk out. Like, that's their whole shtick. And I feel like they're just undoing that with these processors.
So many, when we even just processors aside, when we just start thinking about the offerings right now from the laptop standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Someone going into the Apple Store who wants to buy
Like, how do you discern?
A MacBook, how do you, I'd be curious to, like, go into the Apple Store and see how they, like, try to guide you, you know, to see what you want.
Oh, they're going to sell you on the most expensive thing they can.
Yeah.
That's also their shtick. So.
Yeah. So it's like
cheap. People don't walk in there expecting to get some grand deal.
Yeah, exactly.
And now what's the Air cost? What's its starting price? At least $1,000, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. I think so. Something like that.
You know, so used to where the MacBook Air was this quote unquote affordable.
It was at one 700 or 799, 800.
It was like $800 or something.
Because I remember we bought one for
$1,200
back in the day.
It starts at 12.
The M2 MacBook Air.
And so again, why would you buy that or buy the Pro with the M2 and not the MacBook Air? Why?
Because Pro.
Because
the Air has the same ports, right? Like
Air's
it only has two.
Air's got the notch, baby.
It has the notch. Air also has the MagSafe charging.
Right.
Which is not a Pro feature, by the way. Clearly.
Oh no, it's absolutely a Pro feature.
Nope, not
they
Pro.
Just don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's a little.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's strange, and I mean not to be like, oh, all Chromebooks are super simple and easy to understand. No, it's not that.
Or Windows laptops,
right?
But it does have been easy things that we've nagged on about those forever.
Apple has traditionally nailed that.
Well, and they want to hold themselves to a different standard and act like they invent everything that ever happened in technology.
Yeah,
and. The frustrating part about it, as someone who's not really a huge Apple fan, is to sit back and watch them almost gloat over some of these things that they do that aren't revolutionary, that aren't inventive, that aren't new, and know that there are millions of people watching it just eating it up and buying right into it. It's just like, that's just so frustrating. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just what it is. But, the people that act like Apple hung the moon and, they just didn't.
Well, they
do good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'll give them praise when it's due.
Sure.
Like I will say like certain things or this is awesome and I like that Apple did this and I'm glad that Apple does this. But man, they do some really dumb stuff and it's like nobody cares. They're just like, that's okay. But Google makes one small mistake or changes one thing and they're like, oh, Google's so stupid. Nah, they're stealing all my stuff and
It's true.
Yeah. Andy Cam when the keynote was over, he was talking about the Wii, man, I really wish we would have got that or wish we would.
I know. I love that too.
Yeah.
Was that last podcast that I talked about that?
Yeah.
But I know we
man, I was so hoping we were going to get this.
Wait, what?
That's been around for 5 years, right? I mean, if you want that, there's other things you can get it on.
Apple does that kind of thing too. They've had this. We've talked about them reusing the chassis a bunch. But yeah, that chassis has been around for several years and still using it. So, I mean, it's just innovating it by adding more to what was already there.
That's right.
I think that's really what bugs me on this MacBook Pro M2 is that it's literally using old stuff, old hardware, just to get more money. And that's a money grab there.
Yeah. It is. I mean,
yeah.
At the
Apple
end of the day,
pulled a money grab?
They're a business.
They're innovating. Again.
They're there to make money. Let's not confuse anything here. But they feel like so much less of an innovative company since Tim Cook took over, and it's just a different method of leadership. For a few years, I think they sailed on some ideas that Steve Jobs probably had gotten in the pipeline, but they're on cruise control at this point. Like the M1 chips, it's a cool move, but everybody's kind of moving in that direction. And they did a good job with it.
That's the cool thing is that it felt innovative for a moment, but because we already knew the potential of ARM, I guess, really feels like Apple, all they did really was open the door for everyone else in the industry. Yeah. Like, hey, everybody, come on in.
If we do it, everyone else will do it too. And so for that, like for those things, I do give Apple credit. I like, you weren't the first one to put ARM in a laptop. I mean, we've had ARM-based Chromebooks for a while. They were just trashy ARM processors. You weren't, but Apple has worked on ARM for a long time. I mean, they've had ARM processors in iPhones and then in iPads for a long time, and they've done the work to make it great, and they've done the work to create a really solid ecosystem of hardware. And so when they decided to just get rid of Intel and move to their own silicon in their laptops, it was like this signal, like, it's okay, everybody, we'll do it really well so that a lot of other smaller companies will try it and probably fail. But at least it got everybody over the idea that if you don't have an Intel chip inside, you can't do anything. Right. Like it's only good for games or whatever. Right. Like people are starting to understand ARM architecture better, the idea of it there being something else other than an Intel chip inside a computer now. And I credit Apple for that. Like, good on them. And when they came out with these, we talked about them on podcasts. And we did videos about it and stuff because it was an important move. Like, so again, I don't want to ever be labeled as somebody who just hates on Apple, just hate on Apple. But I'm also going to call them out on the stupid stuff they do, just like we call Google out on stupid stuff that they do. Like, stop fanboying out so much that you can't see, like, the fact that Apple does some really stupid stuff and people just lap it up. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. They could just keep doing this stupid stuff and coast through. They can reuse old laptops and sell them for $1,400. Right. And people are like, ooh, new MacBook Pro. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you just bought an old laptop. They swapped the chip in there. So it's a little bit faster, but cool. Good on you. Yeah. And it's like, mindlessly following, right? And not thinking critically about it. And yeah, it's like, when Google does dumb stuff, we call them out on that too. Because I get frustrated looking at these Twitter threads too, where people will go or they're bashing Apple. Like these Android fans think they're doing someone a service by going in and bashing Apple or iPhones for certain things, and I'm just like, this is so stupid. Like this idea of where you're on some sort of team. That corporation, that business wants to make money off of you. Yeah, Apple, Google, Samsung, whoever, they want to make money off of you. So, stop holding such allegiance to these things. Yeah. Like, be a fan of something and be a fan of because it works for you and it does something cool for you.
Right.
But like thinking that like your allegiance to that company is some sort of fandom, it's as silly as people that get really like bent out of shape about sports and stuff too. Like people do it. Like we just attach ourselves to something and somehow that becomes some extension of me, and that thing doesn't give a rip about you.
Yeah.
Or anything you think or say or do. They don't
Just
care.
your wallet.
Yeah. Did you buy some tickets for the game?
Yeah.
Cool. If not, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Just please leave.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just a tribe mentality that
It
we
is.
have built into us somehow.
Yeah.
We love feeling a part of something, and even if that thing doesn't care about us, we're
At
like,
all.
yeah.
Like it's with sports, I get it a little bit more, maybe
Yeah.
not really, but
Right.
like for corporations, like this
Yeah.
tribalism with corporations is so weird.
Like sports and stuff, there is something about showing up to games and showing support, camaraderie, and that sort of stuff. But like when you're talking about a corporation that is literally, selling products.
Yeah. Because I mean, there are a lot of tech companies that their mantra and part of their core beliefs may be like the betterment of society, the betterment of the home, the betterment of
sure.
and that's good. But like we're saying, they're businesses. If they really truly were doing it only to better our lives, they would run a non-profit.
Right.
And
Get all
every
the money
dime
right.
of profit they made would go back into whatever. That's not what they're doing. They're looking at the bottom line, and they have investors and all that, whatever. So, at the end of the day, we all sign the dotted line. We buy what we buy, and it is what it is. I saw somebody, it was a tweet or something yesterday. It's like that one person in your family that ruins everything because they're an Android user. I'm like, seriously?
Yep. Tribalism, baby.
I did almost say something to Kenny, though, because I had forgotten that there are reactions now. And Kenny had reacted to that image or something I put in the thread yesterday. And I was like, are you back on an iPhone? And I was like, oh, wait, that's not an iPhone thing anymore. That's an everybody thing.
Yeah. So there you have it. Apple event.
There you go.
That's our reaction. Our thoughts on the Apple event. We're gonna.
I told Andrew, I was like, "You're here for the first time during an Apple event.
Yeah,
you're getting ready to hear me.
Buckle
it's great.
I'll just spend most of it making fun of Apple.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
I actually have some retorts about the whole thing, but I'm waiting on Apple to tell me what to say.
Yeah,
Wow.
they will.
Wow.
I was at home watching Star Wars, so I got all this secondhand.
There you go.
It was weird. Actually, one last thing about this. People were posting this on Twitter. It had some Samsung vibes.
Yeah,
Really?
As far as corniness.
Yeah.
Like there were some super duper corny things.
Really?
Like they were talking about speed with iPad OS, and so Craig Federighi, the guy with the big, silver hair, decides
Silver Surfer.
he's Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
So he's gonna run to this next scene, and so they show him in slow motion, like doing it because everybody talks about his hair, and he's fixing his hair, and then he like zips off to this next thing.
and then
Super
the
corny.
basketball outfit.
Oh yeah, he comes out at one. I guess was it Watch?
Who
it the
was that?
maybe?
Him again?
That
Who
yeah.
was that? Okay.
Yeah.
It was almost all Craig
Yeah.
this time. And he's in this ridiculous looking basketball warm up suit, and he takes a shot and looks like he may have never touched a basketball ever in his
Yeah.
life.
Oh.
And I'm like, what is happening?
Did he shoot with his thumbs?
He kind of tried to hold it up, but it looked super awkward. It was real
You
weird.
didn't spin the ball at all. Okay.
But there were
Warehouse basketball game kind of stuff.
a little
Michael
Michael
action
Scott
going.
action.
All right.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's just not them. They just, I don't like cool. Be playful about it or whatever. But surely you can hire
That's
somebody that's got
weird.
enough sensibility to realize like that's just like campy, corny
Yeah,
stuff,
that
and that's
was-
what Samsung's all about. Like Samsung's events are always,
But they've
where
always
they
kind
do
of
some
been
stuff. You're just
that,
like,
yeah.
oh god, it's so cringy. Like some of their events, like they do stuff, and it's like, oh, I can't watch this. Like it's so embarrassing for me. I don't know why, but I'll get embarrassed for them. Like that you should be embarrassed. And
Kind of
I
like
feel
watching Mr. Chen.
yeah,
It's
And-
tough. It's hard.
and I feel like Google has done a good job of almost kind of mimicking what Apple normally would do.
Yeah.
They just stay really professional and in the moment, and let's explain to you how. And that's their shtick with their hardware.
Yeah,
It's-
because
it's
Google.
helpful.
Yeah, Google usually
Would be
does
helpful.
where they get a good balance of striking on the feels because they do stuff like the real
Right.
skin and they do different things. They do a really good job of that, showing the benefits and the features and everything. They've treaded out there like last year's I/O when they did the whole Quantum Labs thing.
Oh,
that was a little. It was really nerdy. Number one and number two, they brought in the guy from Ant-Man, but it wasn't Paul Rudd. And you're just like, y'all are doing too much. Just keep it. Stay in your lane.
But like some of the Samsung events where they've had like AR stuff up here, and she's like she's talking to it, but it's kind of over here.
Now,
the whole
this thing.
Yeah, the the metaverse thing they did last time and all that stuff is just like, please.
And
stop.
some of the stuff in this Apple keynote,
really,
it was on that level.
I'm like, watch it later just for fun.
Just for kicks and gigs.
Like, what is happening with you guys? Like, who decided this was a good look for you? Because it's not. You guys are a bunch of old white dudes. Like, just stay in your lane. Just talk about the products and how they're helpful and beneficial and how you've innovated the doorknob.
That's right.
Just do that and stick with that.
And today we're talking about.
I cannot do Tim Cook's accent.
I can't either.
It's like Californian, Arkansas, a little bit of Texas.
Little Texas.
Like there's a drawl, but there's definitely huge he sounds like he's from California. He's got that kind of California vibe thing to
Texarkana.
Yeah, he's Texarkana.
I'm not sure. Strange accent.
Yeah. All right, there you have it. Apple event. We're going to take a quick break for an ad, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. I forgot to mention it up front, so I'll mention it now. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to go down there and click subscribe. If you're really feeling fancy and you really like what you're watching, you can also click the thumbs up and the notification icon. Ring the bell. Ring that bell while you're down there. Robbie will sing this song
my bell
for you.
Do you know that song?
Nope.
You can ring my
We're going to make this a voicemail.
He'll stop as soon as you press that button, please.
If you click the button, it'll stop.
It will stop.
You don't know this song? Seriously?
Nope. Never heard that in my entire life.
We'd
Do you
been
know?
really young.
Oh, yeah. Seriously. But it's been in a lot of movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, also, do that. Let me not get sidetracked here. Click the bell. Click the thumbs up.
I'm gonna start singing
Mainly
again.
click subscribe.
Comment
We're going to
something.
comment something. Comment
Anything.
which blue shirt you like the best. We'll comment back our
Cats.
answers.
Top Gun, baby.
Hey, it's one thing me and Andrew agree on.
Andy,
Go
will you Photoshop my shirt blue the rest of the episode, please?
All of it.
No.
But
for a brief moment.
you can do like the little click thing and just change the color, and then everything else that's black will also be blue.
That'll turn blue.
Yeah, everything.
These will be
Our
blue.
mics will be blue.
Can we start green screening this? That would be
let's
awesome.
green screen.
So it could just be
Let's
in
go
different places.
full blown news anchor setup.
Yes.
I've got the screen. We can do it easy.
Perfect. We have a few giveaways that are upcoming. There's one I'm hoping to maybe launch next week. We have some other devices in there that we're going to be giving away, and then I'm planning one other one. So lots of giveaways coming up. But
it's the one saucy device that I'm super excited about giving away.
I think we're doing that
for the podcast.
I think we should do it for the podcast.
Ooh.
And it'll be a running giveaway, basically
Saucy
like, hey,
device.
go get entered to win. Click subscribe, and then we'll just, when we hit 10,000 subs on this channel on the Chromecast podcast channel, we will give away.
Yeah,
the
so
saucy device that Robbie's excited about.
I'm really excited to give this away.
Yeah.
But get subscribed and then tell other people.
Yeah.
Is
And
it
if you're already
the one I brought
subscribed,
you yesterday? Is it that one?
what? No. We have a box of other stuff that was sent. I don't think you were here. I don't know if you were.
No, I'm just trying to think of the saucy device.
Oh yeah. No.
It's the smaller version of that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
He'll get there. Excited to give that away. We have some other stuff coming up. And if you're already subscribed, that's fine. Whenever you go enter on Gleam, you'll just have to say already entered. Like it'll say, have you subscribed? And you'll say yes.
Yeah.
Boop. Good.
That's
Two
cool.
other things from me.
Oh yeah, Andy Cam.
If you're just listening, you should also come watch it because I put some fun stuff in there.
Yes.
That's
Easter
true.
eggs.
Yes, you get some.
It's a weekly thing. We gather around Andrew's
watch
desk
the Easter eggs.
and see the Easter eggs.
That's
and
true.
I feel like a lot of people missed out last week because there was some really cool stuff in last week's episode, and I feel like you need to go watch. Even if you listen to it, you need to go watch it.
Yeah.
McTraeger.
It has been my
McTraeger!
kids. That's all I've heard for the last 5 days is that. They're like, who's laughing? I'm like, that was us. We were laughing like a bunch of idiots.
Hyenas.
Yeah, it was great.
And the other thing is going back to Paul the Platypus. It's variegation.
Variegation.
So,
You were close.
I said varicose.
Yeah.
Different. Very, very different.
So I
things.
do
Same
need.
root.
Can you take that
Get
photo
it?
that I put in there and cut the black out of it so it's just the flames? because the black's really staunch against the shirt. Joking with my wife, I sent her that picture and I said, "New T-shirts coming." And she said, "I would totally wear that." I'm
my
shocked.
gosh!
I'm like, "You would walk around with a picture of your husband?" She's like, "Yeah."
If she does,
awesome.
I'm gonna
As
find some sort
McTraeger.
of picture of myself and put it on a T-shirt.
The new one that we just put out on.
There you go.
All black.
Like Gabe's wife's doing it. Was it?
You gonna wear it or not?
You gonna wear it or not?
What's up?
And I'm just gonna have one
I'm gonna
made
tell
for
you
my
she
future
won't.
partner.
There you go.
She won't. My wife would be like, "No."
I'm just gonna picture myself.
No, I was shocked.
And me and Andy Cam, we're just gonna wear ourselves.
Yeah,
You get his and he gets yours.
I was shocked because we joke about my dad and his wife. My dad's in his 80s. They do when they go on vacation, they'll wear like the matching USA kind of 4th of July kind of stuff. And I'm like, cute old couple, whatever. How corny. So when she said she would wear a shirt with my face on it, I'm like.
Yeah, we got.
Is that where we're at? But maybe she.
Then we're making it. Calling the bluff.
They call me.
Yeah, we're doing it.
No one at her work knows my name. They just call me Salt and Pepper. So.
I was thinking they were going to call you McTraeger.
Now they're going to call me
gonna.
McTraeger. Exactly.
They're gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go upload it to Cotton Bureau.
Absolutely. Have it unlisted,
Right.
Well,
or just go ahead and list it.
That's why I told him I need
Anybody that wants it.
Yeah, I need the black taken out because I put it on
We'll work on
Printful
that.
and it just looks really weird.
We're
going to
work on that
background.
afterwards.
We need to do that in my Andy Cam T-shirt.
Yes, Andy Cam's got to happen.
Andy
too.
Cam, Thunderpaws. We just started a whole line of merch. I mean,
We want
we
to
sell
find,
7 shirts a year.
Hey,
so.
if anyone
That's the
out there,
problem.
if anyone out there knows some really awesome like creator merch suppliers, there was one I couldn't remember who it was. I just need a message. I think it was on Colin and Samir. I just need to message them and ask them. They went and like did a behind the scenes with this company that does like creator merch, and it is full blown legit screen printing,
like good stuff.
This digital stuff that it print, because we ordered some samples from Printful. And they are the exact same. The stuff from Cotton Bureau has been peeling and
I honestly,
cracked and not good.
Some of your all shirts have died so quickly. Like I wear mine very selectively.
I do
like,
too.
I'll wear them
I know.
only on filming days. Or
Yeah.
one of my gray ones is just a gray T-shirt.
Yeah, it's gone,
literally
which is
gone.
a
But, like,
bummer.
this is screen printing. I've had this UK shirt for probably 5 years. And look at it.
Yeah.
I wear it all the time.
Yeah.
And it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like this is
just a different. It's like it's screen printed instead of this
right.
digital print stuff they're doing now.
Right.
That's no bueno. Anywho, yeah, if you know somebody or if you own a company that does this sort of stuff, hit us up.
Yeah, because we'd
Info
love
at
to
Chromebook
do this
Box.
stuff, but we don't want to do it and it be shoddy merchandise.
Yeah,
Right.
We
Like
want
Cotton
to get
Bureau's good
quality
enough
stuff,
that
you know.
we've continued to leave that store up. I wish that they would just fix this stuff because I like their service, but yeah.
Yeah, because for creators, it's much easier.
And
to
I mean,
just be
we-
like, I'm going to upload this, and if people want it, they can take it. If not, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like we're not.
We
having
make
stock
$1
inventory.
off of our shirts. Like we're not
Yeah.
doing these to make money. We're doing them because they're fun and it's
Yeah.
cool stuff. We like our designs. We just need some.
But for us to go somewhere local that we know does good printing,
we
on
would
stuff,
have to
like we'd have to have
handle-
inventory. We'd have to have like
handle
warehouses.
logistics
and, like,
of it. Yeah,
it's just-
no bueno.
Yeah, but anyways, I've
Nothing.
already sat and planned out an entire line of merchandise for McTraeger. We're gonna do magnets, hats, patches, stuff for your grill. You can do like tongs and aprons and stuff. It's gonna be a whole thing.
That's your-
SmokeInsider.com. Check it out.
That's your.
You better
No,
hit
no.
up, hit
No,
up,
no,
hit
it's
up
just
Traeger and be
McTraeger.
like, hey, we're doing this.
Can I?
You're not going to sue me or anything,
Oh
right?
shoot! Yeah. Might have to think about that.
Where's the name Traeger even come from, Andrew?
I don't know. They
you could do,
they
like,
definitely have a copyright
Just
on that.
spell
for sure.
Traeger differently and use a different font.
Yeah.
You also might want to MacGruber.
Gruber might. Yeah. There's some licensing
Yeah, but
issues here.
that's off MacGyver though. So I mean, who's
That's
who's suing who here?
Yeah,
As
who's
long as
suing
it's
who?
parody, you can get away with it in film.
There you go.
Yeah,
and
but
video
as far as
stuff.
printing and selling things,
merchandise is where you get in trouble.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure, I would
Anywho.
guarantee SNL has to pay some sort of licensing to the MacGyver
Might be the
series
same company
for-
though. What channel was MacGyver on? It might be
Might
be
have been
NBC.
NBC Universal anyway.
They're like,
Then that works easy.
they're like, who cares?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, a couple little update things there. Definitely, if you were listening, I know like listening for some people is the way that you're
That's
gonna
the way.
you're gonna consume this or whatever, and that's fine. But go check out the video; it's fun. Just go click through. We can do some timestamps in this one for the Easter eggs, so if somebody wants to see the Easter eggs, they can click down. We'll do a separate little timestamp thing below. Somebody asked the other day on the channel if we could do timestamps for like the major things we talk about, so we should probably do that too.
Yeah,
we don't talk about a ton of topics. We kind of pick big things and elaborate on them. So it'll be fairly easy to do. So we should probably do that.
Just to bust it up.
Because YouTube's starting to do it now with their AI and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'd say for these, it's probably not.
It's probably not close because we
ramble.
Yeah, we
Sidebar.
elaborate.
Sidebar. There you go.
Sidebar.
Make it a legal term.
That's right.
Take a sidebar.
So
we live
next
in the sidebar.
Next thing. Pixel Watch. We have some news on Pixel Watch because it appears there is a Pixel Watch app.
Yep, guys at 9 to 5 did their thing and tore down an APK, Play Services, I think, 22.22. And inside they found reference to, and they actually were able to force it to run somehow. So they had a couple screenshots of it. And it was for the Android Smart Unlock. So the thing back at CES when they said, hey, Android, better together, all this stuff. One of the things, which I'd like to talk about the other thing that I was asking you, like, do you remember this? To see if you do.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't recall
I don't remember it. I'm like, this sounds awesome. But the Better Together, they talked about Smart Unlock. So we've had Smart Lock for Chromebooks that's clearly getting kind of overhauled and stuff. But this was Android Smart Unlock. And the idea being that, your watch and your phone and should work with your tablet and your Chromebook. And they should all just be able to unlock one another and all that stuff. So we covered that back in January and haven't talked too much about it since then because it's
nothing to say anything about it.
Yeah, nothing's really moved yet. I think it's going to be an Android 13 thing more than likely.
Easy,
right.
Easy.
He's okay. He's okay.
Easy. What was that? Was that one of our many driver tools that we have floating around?
Which just looks like a drum key to me.
This is such a the golf situation over here is such a Robbie thing.
What? Oh, yeah, I know it is.
Wait,
look at all the golf clubs over there.
There's a few.
There's one specifically I'm looking at. I need to sell.
It's all worked out. Your Maverick driver?
Yeah.
I
need to sell it. Anyway,
moving on.
So
Smart
so they found reference to this, but in the screenshot it specifically says if you want to set up Smart Unlock, pair up your Pixel Watch via the Pixel or pair up your watch via the Pixel Watch app. So it's like not just that, hey, it's obviously that they're aiming to have Smart Unlock working for the Pixel Watch.
As it should.
I mean, if they didn't, huge fail.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Google, so
could happen.
They roll out and be like,
fitty.
We swear to God, Smart Unlock's coming.
It's
but here's
coming.
This watch.
6 months. 6 months.
We're getting there.
1 year later.
But it seems like they're going to have it.
4 years later.
That they're going to have it with the watch when it unveils, which it is how it should be. But now it's kind of like it's cool to see that confirmed. But the fact that they've alluded to a Pixel Watch app, because there is a Wear OS app already out there, this is not going to be that. My guess is we'll probably see a Pixel Watch app to be something similar to the Pixel Buds app. A very simple thing that helps you get started, get set up, get connected, get all the pieces in place, and it's going to kind of handle all the handoffs between your phone and your watch. My guess also would be for Pixel, it's just going to be built in.
Yeah.
Like the Pixel Buds thing is just, it's in the Bluetooth settings.
My hope is that it's actually a little bit more robust, like it's like the Galaxy Wear app.
And that probably will be.
That it'll integrate all the Fitbit stuff, so you won't have to have the Fitbit app also. You'll just have the Pixel Watch app, and all of that stuff will just be in there.
I'd be interested, like that'll be an interesting thing to see how that works, because like the Fitbit app is super robust. Like there's all kinds of stuff, and like even if you're food tracking and stuff like that, like it's got a barcode scanner and has all the calories, and you could put in all your stuff so you can keep up with your food, you can keep up with your water consumption, you keep up with your steps, keep up with your exercise goals, you can keep up with so many things in the Fitbit app. So assuming that they bring most of that tracking over to the Pixel Watch, it's like, okay, so is the Pixel Watch app going to have all that stuff, or is it just going to defer to the Fitbit app? Like that'll be interesting to see. But I think having an app specifically for that purpose is a very, very good thing. And what it's going to allow then is people to get a Pixel Watch that have a Samsung phone or have a who else makes Android phones anymore? Motorola, TCL,
LG.
L-Tech.
Did LG still make phones?
I don't know.
No, they went out last year. They're done.
They're done.
But Motorola's coming back.
Yeah, Motorola is they're owned by somebody else.
They're Lenovo.
Lenovo, that's right. there's obviously there's lots of Android manufacturers overseas. In the States, like it is dwindling fast. OnePlus.
Blue still making phones.
Yeah, I mean, they're still out there. But the cool part is, like, hey, if you have an Android phone, you want a Pixel Watch, there's going to be this app that kind of bridges that gap for you, and likely again it'll be just kind of baked into your Pixel phone. And so, I mean, the biggest thing I'm excited for with this is something that again. Give credit where it's due, that Apple's done really well with the Apple Watch, that it integrates with multiple devices and allows you to unlock stuff. And so I was asking Andrew about this specifically today because I'm like, okay, wait a second. So if I just stole your watch off of you, which isn't that wild of a thing. I mean, people steal
like
watches.
when you're laying in the middle of the street.
If I would have taken your watch, could I have gotten in your MacBook at that point? Like,
just kidding.
But he pointed out, that it's, and correct me if I'm wrong, but your watch is unlocked the minute it's on your arm and you unlock your phone.
Yes.
Okay. And so once that's done, it stays unlocked unless I were to take it off his wrist now, it'll relock again, which is pretty dope. And I mean, heck, even my Fitbit Versa 3 has the sensors in place. If they wrote the software for that, it could do that too. Like most of these watches have, skin temp sensors and heart rate and all that kind of stuff. It can tell when it gets removed from your arm. So, hopefully the Pixel Watch does the same thing with Android's new smart unlock stuff. Hopefully it's smart enough to be like, okay, cool. Once you've unlocked and it's on your arm, we're good to go until it gets removed from your arm. Mm-hmm. Then that's a lot more secure. Because I was telling Gabe on the way back from lunch, the only way to get around that would be to chop my arm off and use it very quickly before the blood stops running to it. So that seems pretty extreme. And I don't have
getting pretty graphic.
Challenge accepted.
I don't feel like I have to worry too much about somebody wanting my data that much. And if you are that worried about it, use a password. That'll be a cool feature. And because if Smart Unlock doesn't work in something similar to that fashion, it's kind of pointless because I don't want to have to unlock. Like I don't use payment methods on my watch because
same here.
Fitbit's software only
have to have
a pin on there. I'm not punching a pin in every time I want to use my watch. It's stupid. Like that's just not a reasonable thing to do. Like if it doesn't have something where if it's unlocked, it's been on your arm, we're going to stay that way until something changes. I'm not really interested in it. So hopefully that will work. Sit down to your Chromebook, it's already unlocked. Just click the screen and move.
So if your phone is in your pocket and you look at your watch and your phone's locked in your pocket, is your watch locked?
No.
Okay. So it stays unlocked
until it's removed from his arm, and then it will lock itself. And again, all the sensors are there in most modern smartwatches to know this. Like you're going to know that watch can know I'm not in contact with skin. There's no heartbeat anymore. Like lock up.
Yeah. If you have like a toxic girlfriend or something, you fall asleep with your watch on your arm. You better be careful.
It's real life. It's real life. It's what people worry about.
I saw something.
My phone unlocks with my eyes closed.
I don't know his full name, but he goes by KFC on Barstool, and he does the 1 Minute Man, which is like his Instagram thing he does where it's like a little quick recap of something in the news, and he was talking about the new feature in 16 for iOS where you can delete messages, you can edit messages, and something else. You can change whether it's unsend, and then there was one other one like you can maybe, if you've seen it, you could mark it unread or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is just opening up a whole can of worms for that toxic person in your life. Just gonna send some late night messages and then just immediately delete them and be like, oh, I don't know. Do you want to see what I said? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could open up a whole can of worms.
Oh yeah. One other thing about the Smart Unlock that I think is cool is how you can add multiple watches, it looks like. And then, at least on Apple, it'll automatically log you into that profile. So if you have home, Chromebook and 3 people with the watches,
whoever walks up, it unlocks.
It unlocks to their profile.
That would be dope.
And I'm not sure if that's how Apple does it because I only have one profile on my MacBook.
Right.
But it makes sense.
We should test it because I have a separate user on this one for you.
That would make a ton of sense, though, especially for Chromebooks, because Chromebooks, more so than MacBooks or iPads,
have multiple users.
They're built for that. Yeah.
This is the whole purpose of them. I mean, we do it at our house constantly. Like my wife has her Asus CX5, and it's a nice big screen Chromebook, and it's always in the living room, and so I'm on there, so I just flip it open and log in, and all my stuff's there, and I log out, and and so we don't technically share a Chromebook, but we end up sharing a Chromebook, here and there. And so for it to just pick up on that from a account perspective and know like, oh, you're here with this watch, cool.
I wish
come on in.
I mean, I know that
That's
it makes sense for the watch to come in the fall, but man, I wish it was getting.
I
wish it was the July date. I
I'm
want
ready
it so
for it.
bad.
Yeah,
I mean, just looking at these photos, like all of the lifestyle photos that they have, we were talking about before we started rolling. Just it looks so cool.
It does.
I wasn't totally sold on the design right at first when some of the renders came out and we saw the leaked one.
Yeah, as soon as we saw it on Rick's wrist,
I was like, I don't know exactly.
I was immediately. That's
I
right down my alley. It's techie but still round. I like the round.
I love the little bit more traditional design of the Watch 4. I really like that watch. I even bought some replacement bands off of Amazon. It's a little bit too big for my wrist, and the bands, I don't know if you've noticed this. Well, you have the smaller ones, so you probably haven't noticed. Like, just come straight out, and I've even tried like bending. Like, I keep bending them down like this, trying to get it. Like, they stick out on my wrist,
that's no good.
So then, I don't know. It's a little strange. Like playing disc golf with it over the weekend was a little weird. I had to tighten it down a little bit too tight to get it to kind of fit my wrist better. Anywho, stoked on this watch. Cannot wait. It will be released in the fall with the Pixel 7. And, of course, there will probably be more and more leaks as we get a little closer. Some extra software stuff,
I think between the leaks and them just completely outing it I/O.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen the device. I don't know how much hardware.
Price is really the only question mark here. There's been the stuff we've talked about it on here before, the whole co-processor thing. Like, those will be questions that honestly aren't going to be answered unless somebody gets their hands on it and can run benchmarks. And Google seems to be showing propensity now to be like, oh, you have one of our devices early, we'll shut it down.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that last week on the podcast?
No,
I don't know.
It was just the other.
No, it just happened.
We should mention it.
Yeah. So the Pixel 7 that somebody accidentally sold on eBay. They had it and sold it, and the person that bought it didn't even realize they bought the 7, but it was a prototype Pixel 7 or 7
it was
Pro.
Sold as a 6 Pro, wasn't it?
So.
Yeah. They listed it as a 6 Pro.
So they got it, they bought it, paid for it, were using it, and then Google's like, hey, that serial number shouldn't be out there, shut down. And so it's a complete brick now. Yeah. So they kind of got taken, which is unfortunate for them, and hopefully eBay will make them whole. I know I've had some situations where the buyer was completely in the wrong and just made stuff up, and I still had to take the device back and give them their money back, even though I got it back and it was like, they said
able to prove
the screen, this was wrong or this is wrong. I can send you pictures and videos to show you that is not true. Don't care.
Nope.
Give them their money back and move on. So I just had to resell it. So it'd be nice if that's what they end up doing and set that part right. But and then there's the reseller in was it Malaysia? I think it's in Malaysia. I guess decided he didn't care about selling future Pixel products or Google products, and he did an unboxing already. That's the unboxing video that went around, and then started posting them on Facebook Marketplace. And we put a post out just like, hey, PSA, you might be able to get these things. I just wouldn't do it, because if you spend your money on it, and I think these have unique identifiers in them. It's not hard for Google to just be like, because as soon as it hits their server and it's a Pixel 6a or a Pixel 7 or a Pixel 7 Pro, it's not real hard for a company that has algorithms for just about everything to pick up on it and shut it down.
They're well within their rights to do that.
100%.
Two, these devices haven't technically cleared the FCC yet, so Google would be in violation to allow them to be out there. So they're going to shut them down just to cover their own butts.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolally. Because we'll get pre-launched devices in sometimes, and they'll have stickers on them that say this has not been evaluated by the FCC, and it better not be in the hands of the public. You know? So.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. I mean, it's like Google's always on the next on the bleeding edge of leaks. It's not enough for it to leak. It's not enough for there to be a photo of it. Now there's an unboxing of it. Now people are selling them. So
that was a whole new level of.
Well, they got to go to the next level. It's like the Batman Joker thing, at the end of Batman Begins. It's like, you start jumping around off buildings, they start wearing Kevlar vests. You start doing this, they start, like. Google's like, look, we'll just preemptively do this. We'll just start announcing all our stuff real early, and now it's like the leakers are like, crap. Now what am I going to do?
Dang it!
And then Apple's going to start doing that in 5 years, like innovation.
Boom! We just innovated on y'all.
Innovation. This is the best ever.
Leak culture innovation. This is the best leak ever.
We are the best leakers in the world. All right, I'm done. Okay, next thing. Let's talk about a video that we just put out. The Lenovo Chromebook Duet 3. This is a device that we've been really excited about. We got in a pre-production unit.
That was blue.
It was blue, not the same color. We did the video, and we were sitting and filming, and Robbie said in the video, yeah, this is, just like the one we had. And then Andrew was like, wait, there's the one on the shelf.
It's in the whole shot.
It's in the shot. If you watch the first part of the unboxing, it's definitely in the shot.
So what's the retail one, gray?
Yeah.
Gray.
Looks way more professional.
Are they making
I
a
love.
blue one, or was it the chassis from the? No, because that was
be.
a different size screen.
I think their plan is maybe to do that, or maybe overseas, because the original.
Because they have a Windows Duet too, or an Android. They have another Duet. So
they have a Windows.
Yeah, Windows. That's right. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I like both colors.
I do too, but I think the gray's more of a kind of a general purpose device.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
more people will be able to use that, and take it
Yeah.
into meetings, or kids will still like it.
Yeah.
It's less polarizing, I think. Like a blue one looks cool.
It does.
But-
And if they sell, a crap ton of these like they did the original, they could
come
they
out with
could
all
release
kinds of
they could
colors.
release
That would
it.
be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Be
Purple.
like, hey, a new color's coming out. Here's another
Asus
color.
did that for a long time with
rose
their
gold.
cheap ones. Remember, they just come out with like a yellow and a red. Like, just make it whatever color.
Yeah, but we unboxed it. It's a weird. Some of these are starting to get a little weird because we're unboxing a device that we had hands on with a few months back. So this is MWC or for MWC. It wasn't at MWC.
So March, right?
Yeah. So early March. I think it was March 1st. I went back and looked, and we got our hands on it. But it was a European style keyboard. There were some like pre-production things that weren't quite working on it, but we got the general gist of what it's going to be. Liked it back then. Like it a whole lot now.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it encapsulates almost everything you want in a Chromebook tablet. The only thing I could think, honestly, that I would say, I wish they would two things. I wish it had the magnetic pin thing on the side like the HP.
At least it has a little holder for it now.
It's in a terrible spot.
You got a little holder now.
Yeah. A rubber nubby holder on the back.
It's really weird.
It's super bizarro.
Looks like you keep your cigar in it is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like if it did that and hooked onto the side, cool. Like that's a normal place to put it. But like when you pick it up, it's even in a weird spot. I don't care for that at all. But so yeah, I wish they would kind of do the attachable pin, even if it didn't charge, just make it magnetic and slap it on the side.
Right.
But then I really wish they would have gone with either the Companion 828 processor, and that's not a knock on the 7Z Gen 2. It's fine. I just feel like the 828's a little more capable. The one that's in that Acer that we've reviewed just recently, the 514. It's a tad bit. It just feels a little snappier in daily use. Like they benchmark pretty close to the same. But it just, I don't know. It feels like it's more capable.
Now, what about the Duet 5? Because it has 8 gigs of RAM. How does it feel compared to the 514?
They feel pretty comparable. And that's, I'm hoping that because right now you can just buy it from Lenovo.
Yeah, and I've checked. There are 8 gig models listed in other countries. Right now, that is the only model listed on Lenovo's PSF ref. There should be one coming.
Yeah, that's what happened with the original. I remember we were just like, I think this is all we're going to get, and then Best Buy, when it finally showed up at Best Buy, it was the higher end spec, and that's all they stocked.
So if Best Buy does an 8128 of this device, it just like the original Duet, the Best Buy model will be the one that we recommend.
What price will that likely be?
It was only like $50 more last time around.
Because the way it works is
that's not true. It's double storage.
Yeah, but Best Buy usually has a better model with more storage and more RAM that is slightly more, like $40 or $50 more than whatever model's on Lenovo's website, but Lenovo's always less RAM. So Lenovo's usually overpriced, which the one we have is on sale for $299
right now. Yeah.
Right now.
It went down to $259.
Yeah, at one
last
point,
week.
$259. So
like for that price, it's an absolute no-brainer.
But if they do 128 for $350 at Best Buy, all day.
I could almost see that going up to I could see $399.
But they go on sale
MSRP,
all the time.
Right. Yeah. It'll be $399 MSRP.
Hey, it's the Duet 5's back down to $329 right now.
Yeah. And so that's why, even if they do an 8128, it's got to stay down because the Duet 5, you're getting an OLED screen, which the screen on the Duet 3 is just like the original Duet. It's great. It's 11 inches, but it's IPS. We haven't measured it, but I'd say looking at it, it's probably pushing 400 nits. great colors, great viewing angles. It's got the nice little rounded corners, which I know doesn't make any difference, but it just looks nice.
Did we verify if the Slate had the round? I don't think it did.
I never opened it up and looked. I don't know that it did.
I don't think it did.
But it's just a cool look. And the keyboard is actually really good. I've typed a couple articles on it already just to sit down and do it. The battery life I have not sat down and really figured out yet, but I'm in the middle of reviewing the 513 from Acer, and I can tell you because it's got that Companion 1380. It's a much more powerful processor, like so powerful that I haven't really had to think at all. Like at my desk with Quad HD and running all my desks and all that. Like I don't even consider it. I don't even think about like, oh, it's an ARM processor, so take it easy. Like, nope, just choose through everything I throw at it. The battery life on that is more comparable to a lower end Intel device, which is to say it's good. It's completely I want to say last time I checked, I over the weekend, did a off the charge and just used it for a little bit and kind of said, okay, if it took this much battery, it's probably going to last. It's getting close to that 10 hours of use that Acer said. But when they said that, I was like, maybe they undershot because it's ARM, it's going to last all day. But that processor is just way more powerful. It's just way more hungry for battery. Right. And that device is only 2.7 pounds. So that battery, I don't know what the size of it. Can't be very big. Yeah. So it's got all the ARM stuff. It's fanless and it's cool. And I like all that with the 514. It doesn't have that crazy, ridiculous battery. And so I haven't figured out yet with the Duet 3 it won't have the crazy battery that the Duet 5 does. Just the battery
doesn't have enough.
The battery will be smaller.
Yeah.
And technically the screen's actually a little higher resolution.
Right.
Because you got those extra 120 pixels across the bottom. So it's 1920 by 1200. So you got more pixels to push and likely a smaller battery. Same processor. So I mean, I want to say the Duet 5, like I was getting 14 or 15 hours of use. My bet would be the Duet 3 will probably be more like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Still,
I took the 5 home last week, and then when you said you needed it yesterday, I put it on the charger when you said you needed it, so it charged for like 10 minutes before I brought it back.
If you do have the right charger to it, like one that's got high enough power, it charges super fast.
It was at 25% whenever I opened it up.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it'll charge up to full in like 25, 30 minutes.
I've got a Pixel charger in there, and I plugged it up, and we went to lunch and came back, and it was charged up. It
charges fast. And so there's so much to like about the Duet 5, about its layout, there's part of me that's leaning towards saying, like, I think for me, maybe if I were to buy a detachable tablet, I still think I'd lean towards the bigger one.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much space to work
I'm excited.
with.
I just got it on my desk and got it set up this morning. So in the mornings, I'm going to start working from that. I think I'm going to agree with you because of being able to sit down at the desk and still get some work.
I took it to the dining room table the other day because we had it on the coffee table and it was used as a tablet, but then I took it to the dining room table, sat down and actually was typing. I was like, I could use we go on vacation. I go wherever. This would be my device I would carry with me.
You don't have to worry about finding a charger all the time.
Right.
And it's wide enough. I said this in the review of that device. It's wide enough that even as a kickstand type device, you can sit it in your lap and use it. It's comfortable to use. And I can already tell you that won't be the case with the Duet 3. It's just too small. Yeah. It's too narrow. But I'll be interested for you to use that while I'm finishing the review of the Duet 3
and then try the
swap
3.
The Duet 3 because your use case is a little bit different. You do a lot of reading. Like one-handed reading and stuff like that, the Duet 3 is super comfortable as a tablet to use and pick up. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see where you're at in there. But yeah, it's impressive. I wish someone else would join Lenovo and
I know,
can you make some tablets, guys?
Yeah,
like what's going on here? Like Acer's got that one that's coming out for education, but it's a big chunker.
I wish.
And I'm like, why is nobody else trying this? Like they've clearly had huge success in this market. Yeah. And I say that HP's got theirs out, and I think HP took a really good swing with the X211. Yep. There were just some unfortunate parts of it that don't quite work.
The original X2 was the same thing. It was like it was so good, it just wasn't quite. And I think if HP would take a step back and say, okay, we need to not focus on this and focus on that. Yeah. Go with the 3rd gen or go with the Companion 13, whatever.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if the HP had the Companion in it, there's nothing wrong with that device. Better keyboard.
Yeah, the keyboard was. But I mean, again, I don't. Folio keyboards I don't look at and think, oh, this has
it's got to be perfect.
It's just got to be.
But I like the Lenovo better. If the
have
HP
you typed on the Duet 3 yet?
No, I have not.
It's really good.
I mean, I did the foreign keyboard one, but no, not the.
It's really good especially for a small keyboard. Like, it's super satisfying to type on.
But you look at the HP with like Lenovo keyboard, the Companion. You've already got the wirelessly charging USI pen. It's
and the screen. I love the 3x2 on the HP.
What's the other one that was on the desk when we were filming the video yesterday?
Yeah.
What was that? The Ace
for the stylus stuff?
Yeah.
5400.
No, tablet.
Oh.
I'm gonna go grab it.
How many tablets
Another
was
tablet?
Yeah, you had one tablet sitting right there on the very top.
Oh, the CM3.
CM3.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. I was like,
It's
Asus,
basically
I think?
Asus's Duet that showed up a year and a half later.
Yeah.
At $100 more.
Fail.
Yeah.
It was a super
But
fail.
as far as like current generation stuff, you're basically looking at Duet 3, Duet
Duets.
5, and the HP. Really, I mean, those are your tablet options right now.
And there's a few more Snapdragons, and we don't know which gen they'll be because the way that these things get developed, like that board, it looks like a reference board, but it looks like the same reference board. And clearly, we've had the HP came out of that reference board and was a Gen 1, and the Lenovo's will come out and they're Gen 2. So I'm like, maybe another one comes out and it's Gen 3. I don't know. There's a 7C Plus Gen 3 coming. Like, they announced that back at the end of the year last year. So, and they said it's coming for Chromebooks. So
why can't we just?
It's very hard for us to
8C
find.
Forget about it.
But there are, I think, 3 more Snapdragon at least devices on the way.
Yeah.
But we can
Companion
tell
1380 in a tablet.
Yeah,
give it to
please.
me.
But we can tell pretty quickly that whether they're full detachable tablets coming. Like, there's a baseboard for the Chrome OS detachable keyboard. It's called Hammer. It's been there since the very first detachable.
Hammer.
Yeah, everything's based on Hammer.
Yeah.
All of them, like every detachable keyboard. So when we look in the repositories and don't see any new Hammer boards, because they have to build a board for the detachable keyboard unless they start reusing them. That's the only caveat there. Like, if they start going back and be like, cool, that Star board, that Homestar is the name of the Duet 5. Homestar, Star was the keyboard, or is the keyboard. If they're able to be like, we like everything in that, we'll just reuse it for this device, then no, I would miss that.
Right.
But other than that, I keep an eye on it pretty closely because I like Chrome OS tablets. And I don't think we're getting to the point, I think we're getting to like peak Chromebook. Like, I really do feel like the Dragonfly is going to show up. We hopefully will have our, I don't know if I told you this, I heard back from our HP rep, like they've got their review units in, they're sorting them.
So excited.
So the Dragonfly is going to be here soon. And I'm like,
so excited.
Sorry, got to pause for a second. Rewind. You said something about when you were talking about the unlock for the watch. You said there was something else you wanted to say to see if I remembered it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Pin in that. Hold on to that because I remember. So like the Dragonfly shows up. I feel like that's kind of like going to be close to peak Chromebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else are we going to add to make a Chromebook better? So I feel like we're nudging up against that. It's expensive, but
Tablets.
Eventually everything will catch up. Like the 513 I'm using right now is excellent at $500.
Yeah.
Like we're getting to the point where great Chromebooks are going to become less and less expensive. So now tablets are the next thing I think we can. And I'm just like, where are they? Like, we have the processors now. Like, what's going on? Why aren't we seeing more of these? So I'm on the lookout all the time because I feel like there's so much room for Chrome OS to
ARM is so well suited for a tablet and being
better
able to
Android
run
apps.
Android apps well and great battery life, no fans necessary.
Yep, thin form factors.
You know,
now
these,
powerful enough to dock them and get
and
stuff
multiple
done
displays. I mean, you're getting into the situation now where tablets, I think Chrome OS tablets are going to be able to flourish when we start seeing more of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need more competition. Yeah.
Chromebook quick setup. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah.
I do not remember this. I would have remembered seeing this.
Don't remember it remotely.
So Michael wrote that article. So we had some embargoed info at CES from Google, and he kind of took that. It wouldn't be the first time I've skimmed over an embargoed email and missed something.
Yeah, we missed some big stuff last time. It's fine.
he wrote a couple paragraphs, and there's a whole animated GIF that goes with it and everything. The idea being eventually it might be an Android 13 thing. So using fast pair and that stuff.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Flip a brand new Chromebook or power washed Chromebook open. It
QR
notices
code?
it notices there's a device nearby. It pings it and puts 4 shapes on the screen. If those shapes match that Chromebook and you're like, yeah, I want to use that, you click it. Boop. It transfers the Wi-Fi data, the account data, and gets you started in your setup without you having to manually do it.
So it's like fast pair for your Chromebook.
For the setup process.
What's it called again?
Quick Setup, I think. I looked in the repositories to see if I could find it.
I don't remember them talking about it at all. I remember hearing something about probably Michael or something. I do not remember them talking about it.
I don't either. It was right before the section on Smart Unlock. So that's what I was going to look for to link it in my article. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, how did I miss this? Somehow I missed that news. So I guess we all missed it. But yeah, looks really awesome. But my guess is because it's definitely going to lean on fast pair and probably something similar to what they're doing with Smart Unlock. Like all that stuff's going to have to be in place.
Because they have like the nearby share, Wi-Fi credentials, LAN credentials, all that stuff. It's probably all just going to pass it. That's crazy.
Yeah. You're basically setting the stage where stuff that is tied to your account will extend out into more local connections. So Bluetooth and connections where I'm connecting this thing to this piece of hardware, all the data's already there.
Yeah. Right.
The MAC addresses and everything, it's all there. So if I've said okay, I don't need to repair these headphones to this other phone that I've got or this other tablet I've got. You have all the information. Make the payment.
Yeah, I mean, my phone already, I don't know if I have it enabled or if it's enabled by default now, but my Wi-Fi password's already synced to my Chromebook from my phone.
Yeah,
so.
I think they turned that on a couple times.
Is it on by default now?
Yeah,
which is so awesome. I was somewhere a couple of months ago. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was somewhere where I know that I had never had a Chromebook at this place, and I opened my Chromebook open.
It just jumped on
right on there because it came from my phone.
All the data is there.
Yeah.
Like it's sitting in a database.
It's all connected to your account.
Now this one just needs to go. But there's been so many, there's hiccups and all that because you got to make sure that, like if I go to set up a Chromebook and Joe's phone's sitting there too, like we've got to make sure it's going to set it up from my stuff to this one. But then, you've got these things just like Bluetooth pairing. Like, are you seeing the same thing on the screen? If yes, hit this,
Right. Yeah. And there's a lot of security stuff involved in there. They got to make sure there's no holes, nothing's leaking so people can grab a hold of your data while it's going back and forth. So.
But I think like fast pair, like you said, what's the other thing we're trying? Smart Unlock and all of these things are congealing into that sort of thing. Like connect all of these local physical connections to my account.
And it's just like this like continuity between your devices and just everything kind of working together. That, I mean, because Google is and Chrome OS is cloud centric.
Sure,
this makes sense. And there's local stuff here obviously that's having to happen.
Right.
But yeah, from a security standpoint, like obviously as long as you've made that connection, then
as long as you there's a second factor of authentication, that kind of stuff. So, like, you're not going to be able to do this without, using your fingerprint or something.
Yeah, you're going to have to have
putting a pin
some extra layer there.
I would love that, though, because, like, I have 2FA set up on mine now with a YubiKey, the USB-C when I keep it in my laptop sleeve. So anytime I set up a new Chromebook, all I have to do is pop that in and press it. But if I could just do that and all that stuff synced, then all I have to do is wait. Put in my YubiKey and touch it.
I don't know. Apple told me that Google's stealing all of my data, so I don't know.
They are.
Oh, have you seen the DuckDuckGo commercials? Like they are
heard them on the radio.
Hard. Oh man, they are all over Google. I'm like,
I'm scared.
Come on. I mean, come on.
I'm scared.
Somebody wrote an article about it, bad form DuckDuckGo, the way that they're pitching it,
because it's fear mongering.
Because it's like a guy sitting in the bed looking over a girl's shoulder while she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, really? Come on.
Yeah, because that's what everybody wants to get it painted as if there's a whole warehouse of employees at Google just watching us. And it's like just watching us.
We talked about this after I/O, and during I/O we were even like, ugh, this part's getting a little boring, but like they had to do it. They had to sit and talk about security.
20 minutes.
And talk about how, in privacy, about how it works. Like how it actually works.
Right. Here's how stuff's sandboxed. We don't have access to any of this stuff. You have it. And yes, they're collecting big data type analytics like, hey, 10 dudes went to this thing and bought this stuff. Okay, well that's fine. Like I'm still an anonymous person in there. Yeah. Like if you think you're going to escape big sorts of analytical stuff, you're fooling yourself big time. Mm-hmm. You're just fooling yourself. You're just not going to escape that, because even at a less digital level, I mean, you don't think people look at crowds, and you don't think people study traffic patterns? You don't think people study foot traffic patterns?
Or those rewards apps that you have at McDonald's?
Yeah, you think that's all just benevolent? Like they're just like, oh, we just want to give you stuff. We love you.
Yeah.
No.
Man, speaking of that stuff, like Chick-fil-A was ahead of their time on like the app experience and the rewards and like tracking.
What's crazy is
like
they were slow at getting an app out, but they were the first.
Like
they were one of the
rewards
first
in the way
ones
they,
that
like-
were figured out a way to like rope you in with rewards.
Yeah.
Like their app took forever to get out. Like
Yeah.
other stores had apps, but they didn't figure out. Now everybody's got. An
Now
app.
it's like
There's a deal every day at every app at every store. And it's like
install the app. Oh, I mean, we went over to Arby's today to try out their new Wagyu burger.
You could have.
And there was a sign on the door that was like, sign up for the app and get 50% off your first order. Or something.
Sonic got me the other day. We were there a couple weeks ago with the kids, and we waited in the parking stall forever, and they were slammed. And I'm like, forget this. I'll just go to the drive-thru. Well, the drive-thru was slammed too. I was like, I'll just order on the app. I bet you it's quicker. I order on the app. Come to find out, it's always happy hour in the Sonic app.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I always order through the app.
I'll
to
never pull up and order again. This is great.
cherry limeade, 64 ounce or whatever. You can
big
get this.
gulp.
You can get
Root Zero.
You can get this. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Or
Route 64.
64,
64.
whatever.
It's called a-
66.
Yeah,
isn't it?
66.
Oh,
I
they
don't
call it
know.
Route 64.
I don't know. It's a very large beverage.
It's a tub.
far too
Yeah.
much
Makes me
soda
think of Dumb
for
and Dumber.
any person.
Huh.
But I love it.
Big gulp, huh?
Big gulp,
Well,
huh?
Okay,
All
then.
right. Well, see ya.
Just when I think you couldn't get any dumber.
You go and pull something like this.
It's
Yeah,
the Route
totally.
44.
What is it?
Route 44.
Oh, it's not
way,
even 60.
Way smaller cup than you.
Do they
just
have
made it
one
sound
that's
like.
larger? Do they have a 60? Okay.
That's it.
I was way off.
44 is pretty large.
Very big.
That's
yeah.
twice this.
Yeah, it's quite a large beverage. But
It
anywho,
is.
getting back to the point here,
What
part
was
of
the
our
point?
digital society now, and part of the way the internet works, and the permissions that we've given these companies by using their services, it's just part of it. Like
It's
is
large data, but
this
nobody
is-
accuses McDonald's or Chick-fil-A like,
Right.
I bet you they're spying on me.
Yep.
Like, no, they're gonna add your usage to everyone else's and try to get an overall picture of what people like and don't like. Like
Man,
that's what they're
it's-
trying to do.
And they're not trying to steal from you. They're trying to sell to you. That's
Right.
what they're doing.
Google got a bad rap, somehow,
'Cause, I mean,
over the years.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, nefarious people who are doing nefarious things to try to steal from people, they're always going to exist, but they're shady and they're always running risks. These big companies know that running a legitimate business using data to make money is always going to be better in the end. So
Yeah.
they're not trying to hurt you. They're
Yeah.
just trying to take your money
Yeah.
legally by selling you stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, folks, I think that's it for today. Do we have anything else? We'll talk cursive next time. If you want to see a sneak peek of a video that we're making currently,
Yeah.
that we're working on currently, go check it out on Patreon. Patreon.com/ChromaBox. You can see a sneak peek of some testing and research that we're doing around Cursive, which is Google's note-taking app. Go check it out. Okay. Thank you all for watching and for listening. That's it for this week. We'll catch you all next time. See ya.